Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Yeah, happy new year, happy 2023. It's an audacious year for my family and I. And hence, I'm sitting right here in front of you guys. I'm ready to share my pregnancy story. Well, it's going to be a gist and testimony. So I hope you enjoy the gist, but at the same time plug into the testimony, because one of the things I believe is that as I share today, you're going to be blessed, and it could be a point of contact for someone out there. Okay, I found out I was pregnant in February 2022, February 10th to be precise. So it was my sister's birthday. But I'm not sure I shared with my family that day because I just wanted the day to be upon my sister's birthday. I think I shared the next day. But I'm going to backtrack to some incidences, that I had to deal with for a while, and just some theories I had before I found out I was pregnant. So in 2021, I had this severe cough. It was really bad, like really bad. Like, I've never drank so much water in my life. I was drinking a lot of water every day because it was like my throat would itch, and then I had to cough really hard to clear my throat. Then I had to drink water to like soothe it and all that. And this went on for like the whole of 2021, because I remember I had to take drugs several times, antibiotics for the matter, time and time again. I had visited hospitals. I had visited hospitals. I'd gotten different drugs. I'd done home remedies and all that. But the cough persisted, and it was really scary for me because whenever I coughed, people around me were like really scared for me. So I had to run a series of tests for the whole cough episodes, and they mostly came back negative. And okay, I remember when I did one of the tests I ran was like, I think H. pylori or something. I can't remember what that's about. But so they had to now give me drugs for that, which was not even as relevant to the cough. I don't think so. So and then used antibiotics and vitamin C. At this point, I was tired. I felt like my body started resisting the antibiotics because it was a lot from the beginning of 2021. So, well, I got drugs. This was late January into February, yeah. And I found I was pregnant February 10th. So by the first week of February, I was having a conversation with a friend. She posted something on her social media stories about having to go for a checkup and had to cough. So I messaged her and I was like, "Guy, I'm coughing too, this, that. So we got chatting, and it's actually funny how we got talking about pregnancy in the midst of these things. We're like, she was like, with all these health issues that she's going through, she doesn't think she can even have pregnancy at this point. And I was like, me too. Then let somebody just let's get to the root of whatever this is, treat it and be done with, because I can't imagine her going through this whole cough episode and being pregnant. I'm not even sure why we had a conversation. Not built. Homegirl was actually pregnant already. So how did I find out? I think maybe from the 6th of January, because I had to do 4 days. For like 4 days, I was supposed to be on my period, and it didn't come. And I'm never late. I'm usually more like an early bird. And I hate it. So I did it. I'm like, oh cool, not here yet. Second day, the third day, I'm like, guy, what's happening? So at this point, I'm like, that my period wants to prolong when I'm pregnant, or how can I be pregnant? So I remember that third day we were sitting on the floor here in the parlor, and I just felt something in my stomach. I can't even remember the experience, but something just went like a rumbling, like something was forming. I'm serious. I'm really serious. It was like it was rumbling for like a minute, and I'm like to my husband, like I don't know what I just experienced in my tummy, but something just happened. Like I'm supposed to on, I'm not on, and then there's rumblings going on in my tummy. I don't understand what's happening. At this point, he made a joke like, oh, maybe I'm pregnant. I said, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. So by the fourth day, before I went to work, I'm like, I think I'm just going to go run a pregnancy test, because at this point, just have to be sure. So I get to the office. No, before I got to the office, before I got to the office, I went to the clinic to run the test. And I couldn't wait for the results, so they were going to send it to my email. So I go back to the office. I was going about my day, you know. Then I had to go to the passport office to go. I think I was trying to do something at the passport office though, so I went to the passport office at noon. So while I was there, I was waiting for the person who was going to attend to me. She was on a seat. At this point, I get an email, and the email says you're pregnant, and I'm like, no. I'm like, tears started flowing from my eyes. Like, I'm like, what? Oh my God, oh my goodness, in public. I started crying. Oh God, I started crying. At this point, my emotions were mixed. I was not excited, I was not sad, I was just numb, like, oh my God, what's happening? And then there was this man at his desk, because the woman I came to see wasn't around yet. So he saw me crying. I mean, my tears put his attention. So he came to me, what was wrong? I couldn't talk. And he says, come in, I attend to you. So I go to his desk, then he starts attending to me. And I said, what is wrong? I was just speechless. I think he was the first person I thought I was pregnant. So he just kept asking, like, what's wrong? You can talk to me and all that. And I'm like, I just found out I'm pregnant. He's like, oh, congratulations. And I'm like, please don't congratulate me, not. You know, and that was that. And then he says, oh, my wife is going through a similar situation at the moment and all that, you know, but you'll be fine. It's a good thing, just be happy about it. Like, oh yeah. So he just helps me fast track a lot of things, because at that point I'm just numb. So he helped me fast track a lot of things that I was supposed to do myself, help me do it. I didn't wait for the woman I came to see, because he already helped me with all that. So my way back to the office, I get to the car, and then I'd sent the email to my husband's WhatsApp. I didn't see it, so I call him. Check your phone. And then he's like, what's wrong? What's that? I said, check your phone. So I dropped the call, then I'm going back to the office, but then I have to branch my boss's kids' school to join her hobby to pick the kids up. So I get there, and then my husband calls me back, and then he's like, oh wow. I'm like, yes, wow. And I'm crying. Then my boss's husband comes to the car and like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm pregnant. He started jumping, he started just like, I think people are taking this more personal than I am. So he gets connects the phone and talks to my husband and says, congratulations, guy. Why are you crying? I'm like, oh, I was not ready. So that happened. And by the time I get to the office, he has called everybody in the office. And then I'm here, congratulations. At this point, I was still numb. You know, I get to the office, congratulations. I'm like, please just leave me alone. I remember one of my colleagues was just in my case congratulating me. And then I was I'm like, just leave me alone, leave me alone. At that point, I get a call from a mentor that I had to tell him that I found out because I talked to her about a lot of things, and then she's encouraging me because she had been through something like that. She's encouraging me, and then at that point, still finding strength little by little, and just encouraging me about how this is a good thing and all that. That yes, it might be quite emotional for me, and but it's from God. It's a good gift from God. So at this point, I'm beginning to feel encouraged. That's why it's good to have a community of people that speak life, a community of people that, understand what you're going through at that moment, but at the same time, they find a way to speak life to you so that you can pick yourself up and put yourself together. So I'm done with that conversation. Then I had to go to my bosses to meet my boss. She had a friend with her, and then when they just saw me crying, they just hugged me, and they started praying over me, and I started finding strength. And I started repenting. It was an experience. At that point in time, I started finding a lot of strength and courage. I remember there's this ring I'm wearing, half faith, half faith. My boss's friend gave it to me, and yeah, that was something. For me, from all this, I'll say the reason why I felt overwhelmed by the news was because we have to be careful. When something is trendy or something is like trending, and it seems like the norm, but it necessarily isn't the norm. It's maybe the norm, but at the end of the day, what matters the most is God's plan for our lives, and in all of this, I have testimonies because I was of the opinion that I want to wait a year before I get pregnant after marriage and all that, because at this point I was just 6 months. I was just 6 months into my marriage, and I'm like, well, in the opinion that I want to wait a year before I get married. Where did I hear that from? From people. So we have to actually be really careful what we fill our hearts with, fill our minds with. It's what people say. Why do people say? People have different reasons for saying it. I think for me, one of the things was like I want to get my life together. I want to balance myself. If I did get pregnant, I'm sure till now I'll still be trying to find out how to balance my life. What am I even balancing? Come on, God's plan is the best. Or maybe by now I'll be trying to get pregnant. I know. See, there are different reasons why people do what they do. I'm just sharing my testimony and what I learned from it. Not to just go with the crowd. That's for me, And in this whole episode too, one of the things God did was heal me of this cough. The cough that I had for over a year. God healed me in the pregnancy. I remember the scripture that came to my heart during this whole time was what's the scripture again? Sorry. I'm saved during childbearing, and I kept on confessing it. And to me, it was sickness, whatever stress that I'm going through. That during this pregnancy, I'm saved of all those things, And God actually healed me of the cough right in the middle of the pregnancy. I'm so still okay. I remember my husband and I were planning a honeymoon trip. We're still contemplating. The moment I found out I was pregnant, I'm like, God, I'm going on this trip right now because I'm not going to wait for this baby to come before I will have my honeymoon to myself again. So we went on the honeymoon trip. It was really nice, Mauritius. But I think on the third day of our stay, no, the second day, oh my goodness, morning sickness started. I went on this boat cruise from one island to the other On this boat cruise, I was nauseous, seasick, and I think a bit of morning sickness hit me, and I was like all over the place. There's not going into details about that. So, but going back to the testimony of this is that in the middle of this pregnancy, I was scared. I remember it was someone had mentioned earlier that this cough, the way I'm coughing, if I get pregnant, can cut the pregnancy. That's beautifully in me. But in the middle of the pregnancy, or right at the beginning, because by the time we came back from the trip, I couldn't sleep in my room anymore. I felt like claustrophobic, like in that space, pregnancy and what it does to me. So I started sleeping in the living room. Had a mattress in the living room. My husband, I sleep here, eat here, everything I did in the living room. So after like 3 weeks or so, I'm telling my husband, guy, I've not been coughing. I've not noticed. He's like, yes. And the drugs God is good. The drugs they are just giving me the fact that I was pregnant, that's some days before, I've not started using it. God is too faithful, because those drugs would have had an effect on pregnancy, most likely of antibiotics and some other drugs like that. But I know when I found I was pregnant, I didn't have to use the drugs. God is really faithful. God is really intentional about us. He's really, really intentional about us. What I do in this video is that God is really intentional about us. God is really intentional about our journey. Everybody's journey is peculiar to them. My journey is peculiar to me. Your journey is peculiar to you. Some things you might not apply to your life, but sharing testimony has a way of just lifting people up and pushing people into their own destiny. That's my pregnancy testimony, and I hope it has blessed you in one way or the other. I have my bouncing baby boy. He's the cutest baby I've ever seen. So maybe I'll still share my pregnancy journey itself and birth story. Pregnancy journey to being pregnant. Yeah, journey to being pregnant, getting pregnant. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you're blessed, encouraged. God bless you. Do not forget to subscribe. Share the link. This might be what someone just needs to hear at this moment, at this point in time. Until next time.